Hello! This is Made for Glory. Welcome again. My name is Pablo.
Father Oskari.
And today we are listening to Creeping Death by Metallica, by popular acclamation. So I am super excited because this is one of my favorite songs of Metallica.
Really?
And I don't think you have listened to it for a while.
Not for ages.
Okay, good. So we're going to listen to it and we're going to analyze it because it has quite interesting lyrics. So without further ado, we're going to listen to a live version in Seattle in the early 90s. So
late 80s.
Let's do it. Late 80s. The song is from 1984, so it's a few years later. Let's do it. What a start!
The energy. Oh, wow.
It stopped, it stopped! That is so iconic.
Lars. What a guy.
Okay. Thoughts so far?
It's pretty strong.
It's very strong. I mean, the energy is just so cool. I mean, my goodness, that live must be amazing.
Jason, oh my goodness, this is perfect.
Okay, so
What's
second
going on there?
thoughts. What's going on? Because it's powerful. I mean, it's just so Metallica, right?
Yeah.
They're just so good, so
And that was
in
like-
command.
And that was like the peak of the energy and sort of really riding the wave to success. So
yeah,
you
incredible.
can really experience
So
it.
what about the lyrics though? So Creeping Death.
Pretty interesting. So you promised to give me a bit of introduction, so where this comes from. I did check the lyrics. I did a bit of analysis of what's going on there. Very much sort of Old Testament, which is interesting from a sort of Christian angle to look at.
Which is obviously the angle we are sort of taking. So yeah. So basically, the story goes that Cliff Burton, the face bassist, the original bassist, like, you know, the OG, you had James and Lars. They loved this film called The Ten Commandments from the 1950s. So they used to get together to watch it.
Right.
And James and Lars especially, they absolutely loved it. So they knew it inside out. But they used to go to Cliff's house to watch it because he had the equipment to watch it. And so, as I say, they knew it inside out.
This is the 80s, you know.
This is like proper early 80s. I mean, the sort of Ride the Lightning is from 1984.
Yeah.
So these guys are super young. They're like late teens, if not early 20s. And so when it came to the angel of death, which is the 10th plague from God to liberate the people of Israel from Pharaoh, like, they were amazed by this concept of the angel of death. And so Cliff came up with the idea of creeping death.
Okay,
and so later on, it developed into sort of, they build up the structure from some of Kirk Hammett's sort of riffs and so on. But the story goes back to the film.
Wow.
And so they even took some lines, as we will see in a second, but it just goes back to that.
Right.
Thoughts?
So basically that's from the book of Exodus in the Old Testament, the second book of Moses, which is at the heart of, you know, the story of the people of Israel. So very, very synthetically, you have the sort of creation story, kind of very sort of mythical style about the purpose of human beings and the original fall. and then the whole sort of long history of getting back on track in union with God through Abraham, especially the people. But then there's a dramatic moment when they're slaves in Egypt and they're liberated. The whole of the book of Exodus is kind of the great narrative of God's powerful initiative, calling the people through Moses and through various plagues, also showing his power, ability to liberate them from the injustice and oppression that they suffered from Pharaoh, kind of the hardness of heart of these other people. And so there's the theme of God, a kind of divine judgment for sins and for oppression, and that angel of death symbolizing that power of God to liberate from injustice.
To take them out of slavery.
Yeah, and that sort of the plagues are the different moments, so to speak, of showing to the people, so to the Pharaoh, like okay, this God is more powerful than your magicians. That sort of drama there.
Brilliant. Okay, let's get back.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can stop it at some other points.
Sure. Just the energy.
That mosh pit.
It's a bit faster than the original.
It is a bit faster.
That's perfect. It should be a live version. So. The duo is perfect.
Kirk looks so young.
And he is.
That is typical Kirk Hammett, by the way. That sort of solo structure, that sort of like first solo. Yeah, you were going to say something.
Well, I was wondering about, do we want to say something about like what this means from a Christian angle?
Please.
I mean, is it okay for a Christian, whatever, anyone really with some morals to listen to something like that? I mean, the question is because it does come across a bit like, are you celebrating violence, like the killing of the firstborn son and so on, and kind of divine judgment? Is it a very sort of harsh picture of God and so on? Have you thought of that yourself, just listening?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. I mean, obviously that's something that comes to mind. I guess the angle is to obviously, like scriptures, like with the rest of the scriptures, you have to take it in its totality.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that, yes, it is sometimes difficult to understand from a modern perspective some of these Old Testament passages. Sure. But ultimately, we ourselves are judging those instances from a Christian angle. So we sometimes fail to realize the impact that Christianity has had in our modern understanding, or in our moral understanding of actually judging events. Yeah. So obviously God is preparing the ground. He's given Pharaoh time and time again another chance. Yeah. And eventually the angel of death comes in as a way of kind of saying, hey, you know, I tried to warn you 9 times and then here it comes. It's true that if not properly understood, it could be sort of perhaps irreverent or, you know, kind of glorifying violence. But at the end of the day, what God is doing here is sort of giving another chance, and sort of it's a love of God, or rather it's a God of love who kind of brings back the people of Israel to sort of freedom.
Yeah, and that's a great point, and I think that's something that also is helpful, I think, for Christians, because sometimes the danger for us is to highlight so much kind of that our God is a God of love, and so, but then we can imagine God a little bit like just the nice granddaddy, sort of always everything is nice, be cool, sort of kind, and so on. And you forget, well, love needs to be combined with justice, and the background story is that there's oppression and slavery, and so it's not enough to say, okay, yeah, just forgive them, whatever, but it's also like, hey, things need to be set right also, and that's something that Christians need to be reminded of sometimes. There's justice, God's justice, God is in some sense that we can't quite understand, but also in some sense there's a holy anger towards injustice.
Which is to draw his people to the good, right? To sort of like shake us up to say, hey, wake up to a greater reality. Brilliant.
And I think one reason why the figure of angel of death is interesting, that it's kind of a figure, a way of saying that when God provides just kind of punishment, he also, in a sense, takes a certain distance from like just vengeance. God is not a God of vengeance as such, but he permits sin to have its consequences. Okay?
To draw us back to himself.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, here he comes.
Who is this guy? I love Lars. He's always with his mouth all over the place.
So classic. Okay, here he comes. Okay. Now, just one thing.
Yeah, go. What comes
Kirk
now?
is 16 when he has written that riff. That riff.
Really?
And now, this sort of back and forth is something they stole from, or they nicked from the previous band of Kirk.
Which was called Exodus.
Which
is pretty fitting.
So they nicked it without telling the guy, and then with his previous band. And then when they found out there was this bust up, the thing is Exodus had not recorded it, but they would play it live. And so this, what we're about to see, is the concept of like they start screaming, "Die!" and then the audience, presumably, because I haven't watched this video before, then reply usually die. So it's a way of interacting with the audience. But what amazes me is that Kirk is 16 when he has written this riff.
Wow.
So these guys are so young, and yet they write one of the greatest thrash sort of songs.
Wow. I didn't remember that. Yeah.
He's 16 when he writes that.
And the drums, simple but perfect.
And he's got that Egyptian tone.
Yeah. I mean, that could be seen as celebration of violence, obviously. That's not what we want to sort of affirm, but it's pretty cool. No, please.
This is longer than usual, by the way.
It is, way longer.
Lars is going for it.
Okay, join in. They were pretty wild. I miss Jason. He was perfect for that sort of line.
using the Phrygian scale. So cool.
Yeah.
What? What a line.
It's pretty epic. Poor guys. Oh my goodness. That's better than Jim. Wow. We can finish there, maybe. So.
Wow.
Oh my goodness! What memories!
It's so
my
powerful. But it's just
it's-
like, it's considered, they're so young,
Yeah.
and yet it's considered one of the greatest Metallica songs.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so impressive, so
I'd quite
powerful.
forgotten about that. Actually, it's funny.
So powerful.
Yeah, but it's tough. It's tough.
Verdict, what do you think?
I mean, it's really, in a sense, it's that sort of quintessential Metallica and thrash metal song, right?
The sound, certainly.
The sound, but also the lyrics. Because if you think about it, like we've discussed in some earlier videos, like on Metallica, it's that sort of sense that you take, for example, biblical themes, things to do with death and violence and so on, and you're sort of grappling with that world, which is something that especially young men do quite a lot. And obviously, in the background, you have things like James's youth, you know, in some sense, quite a difficult, traumatic experience in a sort of Christian sect, Christian Science.
Which, by the way, it was basically that his mother died. So
Yeah.
he sometimes refers to the fact that his mother died without much medical attention.
Yeah,
And
so
so
there's
there was
that
that
story,
tension
yeah.
between the beliefs of his mother
Yeah.
and the fact that she passed away. And he was somebody that dealt with a lot of trauma. Obviously, it's something that you see in the latest album of Metallica, 72 Seasons, which is all about James's kind of dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
And so there is that messiness,
Yeah,
in terms
exactly.
of in heavy metal at large, but especially Metallica,
Yeah.
that they are constantly wrestling with the drama of man, as we have said in the past.
Yeah. And at the same time, I think from a Christian point of view, well, you want to retain that. You don't want to sort of brush it away or sort of under the carpet or something. You need to deal with that. But then obviously you need to add something more, which is what we call the New Testament message.
Which
of
I think
Christ.
I find that very interesting, because I think certainly with the angel of death, obviously if you look at it in isolation, it's like, oh gosh, what's going on? But actually, the fact is that you can only understand that aspect if you remember that God is trying to give yet another chance to people, but secondly, that it leads to Christ.
Yeah.
And so Christ helps us to understand, everything to do with the Old Testament. So it leads to love. Christ is love. So everything gears up to the preparation for Christ.
But it's love that is also tough love.
Yes.
Which is the love
Yeah.
on the cross.
Life is tricky. Yes. Wonderful.
Hey.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching.
you.
I hope you enjoyed the review, which came, as we said before, by popular acclamation. So we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.